Nagorno-Karabakh War. Let's talk about it. Nagorno-Karabakh is an armed conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia since 1991. Geographically, Nagorno-Karabakh is located on the southwest of Azerbaijan, 141 km near the Armenian border. Hence, Nagorno-Karabakh is inside the region of Azerbaijan. Both of these countries will fight over region disputes. The Armenians will say that Nagorno-Karabakh belongs to them, while the Azerbaijanis will say that they defend or to protect Nagorno-Karabakh from the hands of the Armenians. The influence of the big countries like Russia, which supports on the side of Armenia, as the Armenians ask for help in terms of mutual defense and security assistance, while Turkey, on the other hand, supports the side of Azerbaijan, hoping that in return they will have free trades of natural gas and oils. Liberalism is our main topic relating with this war. Liberalism is a political and moral philosophy based on liberty, consent of the governed, and equality before the law. Furthermore, we are now going to highlight Nagorno-Karabakh War in the year 2020 and how we relate it with liberalism.
The Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. The term conflict in IR generally refers to armed conflict. Conflict itself is ever present in the international system, the condition against which bargaining takes place. In conflict bargaining, states develop capabilities that give them leverage to obtain more favorable outcomes than they otherwise would achieve. In autumn 2020, a 6-week war fundamentally reshaped the dynamics of a decades-old conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia over the dispute region of Nagorno-Karabakh, or Mountainous Karabakh, also known in Armenian as Artsakh, and surrounding territories internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan. The issue rose here was regarding to the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Among of the causes of the Armenian-Azerbaijan war on 2020 in Nagorno-Karabakh was because of the existence of the foreign invasions by the great powers of Russia and Turkey. The invasion of this huge country has made the situation become more tense. After the previous war on 1991 to 1994, as well known, the Russians have sided Armenia because of their have a close relationship. Because of the Armenia was a part of the Soviet Union country, while the Turkey lent support to the Azerbaijan because of their oil, and also the Prime Minister of Turkey, Erdogan, claiming that OSCE Minsk group, comprising by Russia, France, and the United States of America, sided with Armenia and supplied arms to the Armenia. From the intervention of the foreign powers in Nagorno-Karabakh, well, this clearly shows the influence of the liberalism theory received from the great powers such as Russia and also the Turkey, for which they have their own agendas for their respective interests. Even worse, when these two countries also provide the military support and military supplies for both parties during the war. Military support can be seen when the Russia leads the Collective Security Treaty Organization, which is CSTO, military alliance that consists of the 6 union countries, which is Russia, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and also the Uzbekistan as their military line. On the other hand, the Azerbaijan side has been supplied with the powerful missiles, which is called LORA, which stand for the Long Range Missiles Attack, made by Israel, and also rocket missiles vehicles that are called as Extra. Then this situation become more intense when the both sides doesn't want to lose or retreat from the Nagorno-Karabakh side, and even the Prime Minister of Armenia, which is Nikol Pashinyan, has ordered his people to be ready to defend their homeland. Meanwhile, the President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, will declare a military emergency and call on his people to continue fighting and defending their battlefield.
One of the parties is Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, Minsk Group, which headed by the United States, France, and Russia. The usefulness of the Minsk Group in peace negotiation was brought up for discussion by both the Armenian and the Azerbaijan delegation. According to them, the 10 years long OSCE mediation had not been effective enough.
The use of the Minsk Group in peace talks in 1994 was brought up for discussion by the Armenian and Azerbaijani delegations. According to them, the OSCE mediation for 10 years was not effective enough. This is because some have argued that the failure of the Minsk Group has caused the warring parties, especially Azerbaijan, to seek new, more effective mechanisms and approaches. The OSCE's failure to resolve the issue between Armenia and Azerbaijan caused the Nagorno-Karabakh war to erupt again in September 2020.
Okay, next, one of the key points on the theory of liberalism in Nagorno-Karabakh War 2020 is International Humanitarian Law, IHL. The third element of the liberal international order is international norms. Liberal norms favor international cooperation, human rights, democracy, and rule of law. When a state takes action contrary to these norms, they are subjected to various types of costs. AHL means to ensure that human rights are respected in armed conflict. An international armed conflict occurs when one or more states have recourse to armed force against another state. The existence of an international armed conflict, and as a consequence, the possibility to apply international humanitarian law to this situation depends on what actually happens on the ground. It comprises a set of rules established by treaty or custom that seeks to protect person and property or object that are or may be affected by armed conflict.
One of the examples that cannot be done in IHL is parties to a conflict shall at all times distinguish between combatants and non-combatants. Attacks shall be directed solely against legitimate military targets. IHL protects those who do not take part in the fighting, such as civilians, medical, and religious military personnel. IHL prohibits all means and methods in warfare which fail to discriminate between those taking part in the fighting, and those parties to a conflict shall at all times distinguish between combatants and non-combatants. Attacks shall be directed solely against legitimate military targets. We can see that in the Nagorno-Karabakh War 2020, on 27 September, in between 6 weeks, there were close to 150 casualties, including 50 civilians of Nagorno-Karabakh and 68 civilian deaths in Azerbaijan, and 2,317 soldiers on Armenian side were killed, along with 2,783 soldiers from Azerbaijan.
So now I will continue about citation. So in our opinion, they should make a diplomatic agreement between each other, that is between Azerbaijan and Armenia. It's because through diplomatic agreements, they are able to establish good relations between the two countries. If the war continues, many various bad things will continue to plug into the two countries. For example, their state will be more chaotic, their economy will be collapsed, and many other negative things that can affect their country. So the administrator of their country should think about the innocent people that affected by the war. Through diplomatic agreements, they can refer to the European Convention of Human Rights, that is ECHR. Through reference to the ECHR, they can refer to the Article 5 and Article 6, which is Article 5 referring to the freedom and security, which is citizens of the two countries can claim their right to be freedom and have a good security in the country. Moreover, they also can refer to the Article 6, which is about fair trial. A fair trial is a key to good relation between the two countries. This is because the start of the war is because of the breach of the ceasefire agreement. So therefore, diplomatic relation agreements can be made and carried out to rectify the stop of the war that have already taken place.
In conclusion, the Nagorno-Karabakh War in the year 2020 lasted only 44 days, from 27 September until 10 November 2020. Azerbaijan succeeded to maintain Nagorno-Karabakh as their part of their region with the help of drones supplied by Turkey to fight against the Armenians. However, this war isn't over yet. The status of Nagorno-Karabakh remains unsettled, which means the conflict has only been postponed and not fully resolved. Maybe in the coming years, we will witness another chronology war scenario between these two countries. Hence, it is proven that there are several ideas of liberalism from each country's ideology that can be found in this war. Hopefully that all of you gain something new knowledge from this video and more understand regarding of the liberalism from each country's perspective in the Nagorno-Karabakh war. With that, thank you for watching this video.